Hello, folks. This is Ben Gessel. I think I might have misplaced some creative things I've been working on. I'll probably find them. I'm sure they'll turn up. I know they're not gone forever. But yeah, I was gonna talk about in this video, if not tonight, then soon, about some of the bigger things we're working on, just in terms of video game ideas. But in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about just some additional video game ideas. Again, just like before, I'd ask that you talk to me first if you ever want to use these. Okay, so let's start here. So video game ideas. Right? This is more just kind of general ideas for a video game. It can either be a secondary quest or it can be a primary quest. And you can always make these into stories too. Okay, so the first idea I think is I'm very fond of, but it's very hard to implement. It would be very hard, but still be very popular. So the actual video game story adjusts constantly as you interact with characters. Different, like again, more dreamlike, right? Emotionally driven. So you're in a carnival, which is lots of reds and whites and things and clowns, and it's all really crazy and chaotic, and clowns are bumping into you. They don't mean to, but there's just a bunch of people. It's kind of like this big madhouse of entertainers that are all over the place, and people throwing pies at each other and stuff, right? So you go from this, but you get irritated and angry, and then maybe, because if you get irritated and angry, all of a sudden it turns into more of a violent kind of thing, maybe, where you have clowns start to act like New York taxi drivers, right? So all of a sudden you think you're in a carnival, and then it turns into New York City, and you have clown taxi cab drivers honking at you, right? Get out of the way! That's kind of what I'm talking about, but that would be a hard one to actually do, but gosh, that would be interesting. And then, of course, you wake up and then it kind of fast forwards through someone's regular life, and then you have another dream. It's a little bit different, and each different dreams might mean different things. In general, the main character needs to discover. Could be a romantic nature, supernatural, otherworldly, regarding the main character's identity. Could have to do with family or friends, or be facing monsters or demons, or could be post-traumatic stuff, even dealing with trauma in the past, or any of all the above, or other things. And so this would be a big game. This would be really probably high priced. I mean, graphics alone would be just insane. So, but okay, another idea here: a short video game about trying to get to your grandparents' house. Right, the main character is a boy or girl. Can be a good Alice in Wonderland kind of idea. Heavy on the characters, which ones you trust, which ones you don't trust. It does like Red Riding Hood a little bit. Getting to your grandmother's house, right? But if you expand the world a little bit more, make it a little bit less linear, more non-linear, and then it becomes more like Alice in Wonderland a little bit, perhaps. The main character's situation could be that both of his parents have mysteriously died. Doesn't have any siblings, right? The main character doesn't have anybody around him that's a relative, doesn't know anybody, lives in the middle of this gigantic forest, right? Hasn't really been outside this forest his entire life. So he seeks out his grandparents, wherever he thinks they are, because he knows he isn't quite ready to live on his own, right? So he gathers what supplies he can carry with him, crying as he does so, of course. He's still crying. Whatever he can find, money or food, and close the door. And, I just want to... Can you imagine what a boy like this might be feeling? He leaves his home behind, his parents are dead, they're in home. I mean, yeah, it's nuts. It's just, yeah, so it starts out very sad, right? Kind of, yeah. So he tries to, from memory, find the way to get to his grandparents' house. Which way he should go, it's very, very hard. Some characters you might encounter, probably very proper, fancy, ostrich. It's very kind of fancy pants. He's a bit of a coward. He's not really as aware of his own strength, because ostriches are very powerful. Kind of sticks his head in the ground, kind of thing. Something bad happens, he just sticks his head in the ground. He doesn't want to, Okay. You can have like a gigantic, multicolored beetle. It could be an old, grumpy male beetle, grandpa beetle. He hums very loud and low. You think it's like a wasp, something that stings, something scary, but just does that to keep himself company. Maybe he just kind of hums to himself. He does have a stubborn, kind of grumpy, but basically good nature. And again, some of these characters will do their own things. Some of them can travel with the main character. You have, of course, the wise old owl, maybe a dopey dog. You know, some of these ones that are more cliches. Sure. You have a clever fox merchant who's a charlatan, rips off customers. Right? You have a giant female purple dragonfly, right? More very kind personality, right? Very sweet and motherly, kind of takes care of the main character a little bit, travels with him. Very timid, very angelic, scared female deer. Very kind, and then also some silly but harmless hyenas that they're kind of like comic relief, but they're not. You think they might be really aggressive and violent, but they're not. They're actually okay. You have a big fat bear who's kind of not very smart, kind of low intelligence, but naive as well. Doesn't really think things through, and black and white domino kinds of soldiers. So this is kind of like Alice in Wonderland with the cards, but instead of we're about dominoes with the different numbers on them, or actually the different dots, kind of thing, different numbers. An overly protective, motherly kind of hen with her chicks, helpful squirrels, some giant stamp monsters, right? They just slam down the ground, might chase the main character, and it sounds pretty scary, right? This is getting toward maybe some really bad boys toward the end, maybe. But so each character is different from the others, and of course, some will want to deceive the main character. There could be a big bad at the end, but not necessarily. Of course, the game ends when the main character actually finds his grandparents, and that can be very difficult because of maybe the size of this game, and maybe some of the kind of portals or aspects of the game that maybe you kind of maybe it's kind of shifting around of things. It doesn't always. You can't always. There's certain interesting places where so it's a little bit Alice in Wonderland, right? You can have a hole in the middle of a tree that goes to this other shortcut, like a shortcut, right? Like in Alice in Wonderland. Okay. All right. A short video game based on different materials and substances, potions, etc., have been created by a mad wizard, alchemist. The main character needs to enter the Alchemy Lab, which is magically grown into an actual world of sorts. The actual size remains the same other lab, but the Alchemy Lab that has geographically become very enormous is able to do this because of magic or just being in another dimension of sorts, we'll say. The goal of the main character, of course, is to find the mad wizard, restore him to sanity somehow. So he has to find a potion that can restore his sanity. And so the mad wizard can gain control. So the wizard, the alchemist, can gain control of his alchemy lab once again. So kind of the potions and all his things he's made have kind of taken over a little bit the lab, which has become a gigantic. So some of these ideas are a little different than ones I tend to think of more often than not. I am going a bit more for variety here. So some of them. A connect the dots. So the connect dots type picture is being worked on by a boy. Like just connecting the dots, making a little picture. And little is he aware that the closer he comes to finishing the picture, the closer he comes to finishing the drawing of the actual demon. Right? So when he finishes the picture, the demon comes to life. If it happens, the demon comes to life and eats the boy, along with completely dominating the world, the actual picture that he's in. There's a world inside the picture. So the main character, along with other characters, exists in a world within the picture. So the person that you would play, if this is the game, playing the main character, you must find some means to communicate with the boy to prevent him from finishing the picture, right? Similar kind of ideas with the jigsaw puzzle idea, where and the main character would be someone in the puzzle, perhaps, or it could be a person. I don't know. In this case, it can go a few different directions, but there's a person who's working on the jigsaw puzzle, and they can find out all too late, maybe, that the picture that they're assembling is a picture of themselves in their house, and a dark entity is about to kill them. Right, very frightening entity. And look right at the moment. So you want to get ready for this, or prevent this somehow from happening, or change the situation somehow. Yeah, that can be scary. A boy is working really hard. This is a different idea. A boy is working very hard to improve his skills and abilities in a magic school of sorts. But this magic school, as well as the world that it's in, is the kind of world that is very much it's very much less violent and much more mysterious and subtle and emotional in its nature, and it's, a little bit kind of it's very very very, very it's not violent. That's fine. It's the magic that exists in this world is of a very different nature. Again, it's much heavier into illusions, enchantment spells, invisibility, silence, these kinds of things, magical silence, unlocking things, opening locked doors, translation or divination, identification kinds of things, magical or historical lore, which is to say lore, solving puzzles, legends and unique mythological creatures that we might encounter, etc. So definitely not so much the fireball or lightning bolt kind of thing. Right? It's not that way. Part of the game, though, is just getting more skilled. This main character plays this boy who's trying to get trained here. So getting more skilled to the point that you can graduate from the school. And the rest of the story revolves around a conspiracy to change and corrupt the more peaceful magic that exists in the world. And so, that's where you get the fireballs, lightning bolts. But it's coming from, in this case, the really offensive or the attack spells, right? The projectiles, not other things that are really, violent, right? They're coming from enemies. People want to change the nature of this very world, the magic that exists in this world, the way it exists, and everything about the world that way. So, so the main character needs to figure out a way of dealing with these folks, only knowing the more peaceful magic that he has, or the less violent magic he has. So he can use all these pretty effective spells, but he has to figure out a way to attack these bad boys without using what they have. So, yeah. Anyway, just a few ideas here for you. I know I've made some more of these in the past, and appreciate any feedback you have. Any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks. Have a good night.